I'm super sorry. Hello, folks. It's me, Kat. I am so sorry I'm having technical difficulties right now. My apologies. It has been a night. It's been a week. It's a week. It is thousands, 1,000% been a week. And guess what? It's just started. Woo! Okay, so I am not going to go into my week because, that's not fair to you guys. You're here to watch me go and draw and, hopefully not make a total mess of myself, which, I am 100% doing at the moment, which is fine. Anyways, so I was supposed to be doing story 10. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, I was not able to record. Let me rephrase that. Pre-record the audio for it. So here we are. There's my there's my stylus. Okay. So instead, I guess today we're going to figure out what to draw. So, two things. I'm a very, very silly person, and I am neurospicy. I can't say I'm truly neurodivergent because I haven't actually been tested yet, but I feel that I am due to the fact that all the neurodivergent stuff that I've ever read has 100% wrong, ridiculously true. So anyways, we're just gonna have fun tonight. So please enjoy. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay. So, and pre-planning is a terrible aspect of being neurodivergent. Because pre-planning does not exist, or it exists to the point where you cannot do anything else. So much fun. Again, neurospicy. I'm talking neurospicy here. Okay. So today I guess I'm going to be talking about two different things and doing a little bit of advertising for two different things. Woot! Um, so last drawing, number 9, story 9, I think I talked about this a little bit, and that is, you know what? I don't know if I actually talked about this in number 9. I'll have to go watch it. Um, anyways, oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to do my intro. Wait, no, I did. Yes, I did. It's one of those weeks, man. It's one of those days. It's just a thing right now. It's all right, a little story that makes me sad. Actually, that's what I can draw. um, I once upon a time forgot how to spell the word I. Not like the eyeball eye. No, no. I remembered how to spell that. I couldn't remember how to spell I. Like, legit. I. No, I don't like that. Erase. Nope. I. We'll do this one. I. This is the word I forgot how to spell. I. Now, granted, it's been a number of years since then, but it is like 100% a true story. I spent a good hour trying to remember how to spell it. Back then, we didn't have Google on the phones. Yes, I have just aged myself. Or rather, Google was just becoming a thing on phones. Anyways, so I couldn't sit there and just be like, oh my god, I'll have to go and Google this. No, no. I had to suffer through 2 classes. Again, high school. I had to suffer through 2 classes in order to remember how to spell the word I. This one! I feel very, very silly admitting this. However, there is a part to this that is not like completely out of the thing. I don't, you know what? We're just going to combine those two. Okay. So, so this is the thing. But Flip side, it's also going to be today's theme. Woo! So, this this goes back to one of those things that, as artists, uh, we have to learn how to do essentially depending on what type of artist you become, because there are some artists who are just landscape painters, you know, or painters of inanimate objects, plants, so on and so forth. I mean, plants aren't really inanimate. Um, Believe it or not, plants move. Not just the walking trees, plants literally move. And if you want, we can go into like a whole series on that of just weird ass plants. Or I can do a whole video on it. Let's go with I can do a whole video on it. But if you want to do I can't anything that is consistently moving at great speed. We have to do a lot of weird drawings. So, um, when I was in middle school, high school, uh, recently, what else brings this up is I was recently reading, no, yes, I was least recently reading, Mural Money by Andrea. Let me go and look it up. Uh, Mural Money. Ah, by Andrea Earhart. Not like not like EAR, like EHR, or Hardent. I'm so sorry that I'm butchering your name. Please forgive me. I'm terrible with names, unless I've heard them a lot. Anyways, but she was talking about when she was younger. I think she said she was a freshman in high school. She was drawing a particular thing, and somebody made a disparaging comment on it, and it embarrassed her so much. Well, um, as all artists eventually will happen, especially if you're in go to school and not homeschooled, um, or don't have super supportive parents, um, you end up with somebody who will make that disparaging remark. My disparaging remark was I was really big into anime at the time, but my disparaging remark was about doing ice. I had a whole page on just doing different kinds of ice. And I was really, really proud of them because I was getting really, really into it. And I was mostly drawing manga eyes. And somebody, one of my classmates, I don't remember what his name was, happened to look over and see my sketchbook and saw the eyes, and he said that it was super, super weird and creepy. And so instead of drawing eyeballs, I just started reading in classes. Once I had all my stuff done naturally. But it was one of those things that has caused me to, it still affects me to this day. That causes me to do a lot of second guessing, like, is this a weird thing? And it's really, really hard to get back into drawing specific parts of anatomy, because when you do that from somebody looking in, it looks really, really weird to them because they don't have a frame of reference. But if you um, but if you have another artist look at it, they will sit there and be like, "Oh my God, that's so cool!" Like, having an art community really, really helps with that. And it can completely change how you develop. And there was no art. Let me put it this way: the only art community that existed was the art club when I was going to school. Because my little podunk town, which I will never name, um, didn't have. Give me a second. Crud, what is it called? Is it I want to say circulation, but that's not right. Um, Population. Population. Uh, let's see. Do do do. Uh, okay, it wasn't that bad, but it might also count towards um it might also count towards the surrounding areas, not just the town. In which case it was like close to 150, maybe a little less. What was really nice is that it was a small town near where a lot of manufacturing and a lot of stuff was going on. So, anyways, but with it being a small town, there's lots of interesting events and things. So, that was always fun. But it was one of those things that really affect um being told that at a fairly young age. And even if you are currently in high school, I know 100% that you do not think that you are at a young age, and you are 100% absolutely 1000% tired of being told this, but you're so young. um and that's okay. It's great that you're young. I am not necessarily jealous of you, because trying to go through that again, if I had to go through that again, I wouldn't kill some people, but I would certainly make. I wouldn't kill anyone, but I would certainly make their lives, make them question why the hell that they're going to school there, or why they were being the type of people they were. There was one person that literally their last name could not have been a better fit for who they were and how they acted. Anyways, entitled AF. Anyways, but that's not to say that there wasn't a reason for it. And as you get older, you find out that maybe there was a reason for it beyond just being that way. And you start to have a little bit of empathy. Will I ever go back? Maybe. Hi, Furniture. No, I wouldn't kill anyone. Sorry. I don't actually like causing physical pain to people. That's one of the nice things about me, is I don't actually like causing physical pain to anyone. Psychological pain, that's different. No, no, no. I don't approve of the self game over. That's so not cool. And probably the um I am going to give me 1 second. Little one, leave that alone. That is not a toy. No, don't murk me. Come here. If you want attention, come up here. Thank you. That was my little fuzzy baby. She is trying to eat cables again. She learned that from her brother, who has moved out since. And yes, that is exactly how that sounds. Anyways, no. Um, no, that's the whole like self-harm thing. That is not something that I at all approve of. Um, because there is something that only you can do and something only you can give. And I know it sounds 1000% cheesy, but hey, I told you no. Knock it off. Don't make me get the slipper. Don't go looking for it. I am so sorry. Don't need her eating cables. Um, I'm so sorry. Anyways, um, but no, there is something only you can give. And that what that is, you won't know. You will not know until that happens. Um, until you look back on your life and people talk about that. Just try not to be an a-hole and we're all good. Because I swear no, 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 no. I am not encouraging the a-holeness. I have a sibling who is a dedicated a-hole. And I love them very, very much. And they have their moments of being very, very kind and sweet. But it's a lot to get to that point. Like, it is a super, super lot to get to that point. Wow, the lag on this is so much fun. Anyways, but no, that's not what I was wanting to do. Furniture. Oh, yeah, she did get the slipper. She definitely got the slipper. I tossed it at her. It did not even come close to her. In case any of you are concerned, it did not get anywhere close to her. Like, she knows the drill. Like, 100% she knows the drill. Um, she was taught with pillows, like soft, squishy things, and then things like that. Anyways, but going back to not being a hole, no, I mean, there are times where you need to be one. Probably one of my favorite stories about my sibling, they were, or they are prior military, and they were working at a local store, not local like here where I'm at, but like local to where they were at, and um, the they were working at a local store, and there was a customer that was just being downright absolutely a giant jerk off to this like high school clerk, high school aged clerk, and they were being such a big jerk that they ended up making them cry. Oh, is that what you want, baby? Okay, bring it here. Well, no, bring it here. She found one of my hair ties. Apparently she's learned well from her brother. Well, come on. I didn't say you couldn't come up on my lap. Come on. You can come up. There. Is that better? There you go. All right. She is spoiled. Anyways, um so there it was this, this dude, they claimed that they were former military, and we're talking about, all this stuff, and saying that, hey, they should get a military discount. I'm sorry, all my family's military except for myself, and don't get me wrong, 100% support the military, but some of y'all are just so entitled. Anyways, that's neither here nor there, and in some cases well deserved, in other cases, come on. Anyways, so this guy, he was upset because there wasn't the store didn't have a military discount, and there's nothing that this clerk could do, but he was being a right Karen, or whatever it's called, whatever a male Karen is. And he was just making this poor clerk absolutely so upset and with tears in their eyes, you know, making him cry and everything, and just harassing him. And so my sibling goes up to him and is like, "Hey man, I work here, I'm former military." Starts talking with him, chatting him up and everything. And then he starts getting into the military lingo. Hey, what was your job? All this, when were you serving? Where were you stationed? All that kind of stuff. Well, the thing was is that this dude, not to say terrible things, but this dude was a freaking paper pusher, had never seen active combat. Never. Was stationed at one base his entire time. And let me tell you, people who are active and people who go into combat situations, they do not like that. Like that is not to be offensive, paper pushers are on the lowest rung. If you don't know that, you know that now. Paper pushers are pretty much not are almost the same as civilian contractors. Don't get me wrong, a good paper pusher does a lot, but um this guy got absolutely wrecked because as soon as they informed my sibling of that, he just let go on this dude. Just let it go because they were in combat situations, and they were in several combat situations. So that was the thing. Um so there are times where being a jerk comes in handy. However, don't make that your personality. Don't make that your personality unless you really want to deal with the consequences of being known as the jerk. Don't do it. Because then once you get to a certain age, you're all like, damn, why don't anyone want to hang out with me? It's because you're a jerk. Nobody likes jerks. And if you're fine being the crotchety old person, all the more power to you. But if you're not, don't do it. Anyways, but if that is what you're here for, accept it. Because if yeah, being a jerk when you're being maliciously compliant is 100% okay and is just karmic. Absolutely karmic. And I keep drawing essentially the same eye over and over. um that is like 100% like karmic justice right there. Um like that's different. Malicious compliance is one of those things that will always get people into trouble. And not the people who are that other people want to get in trouble. No, no. That is that is definitely not that. Anyways, but no. That there's always something that only you can do, and for the most part you never really know until after you have gotten your gray hairs. Like I have no idea if I've done anything good. No idea. But what I do know is that I have certain goals that I want to attain. And if you want to get back at people, the 100% absolute best way to get back at people is to live well. No matter how terrible your life currently may be, um, even if you're in the most bottom aspect of your life right now, and it feels like you can't go anywhere else, and it feels really, really hopeless, and it sucks, and it's like soul crushing, and you're just like, why? Um, one, it won't always stay that way. If it won't always stay that way if you make the conscious choice to change it. Because um you have to make a conscious choice to change how your life's going to go. And that includes if you have a kid at a really really young age. You can always be like, "Oh, I had a kid when I was so young or when I was in high school." 100% I am sorry for you. Do not make me get the slipper. Don't test me. I will be right back. I gotta go and fix this thing. I am so sorry. I told him to leave it alone. You don't need it. Don't make me go and close the door. Okay, I'm back. I had to go and be a parent to a fuzzy thing. But speaking of parents, even if you had a kid when you were in high school, um, and you chose to keep it, um, you can still choose, um, what it is that you want to get out of life. Yes, a kid 100% makes things 1,000% more difficult. But in the end, it's your choice to make the best of that situation. And what one person's best is completely different from another person's. That's I think that's where a lot of people get confused. Like when like this part, why I'm drawing the eyes is because somebody thought it was weird. Even though it was absolutely perfectly natural for me to do this in order to get better at my craft, somebody thought it was weird. And I unfortunately made the decision that I would not continue doing this at school because I didn't want to be made fun of or considered to be the weird person. I fought a really long time with myself before I realized, oh, you know what? I am the weird person. It's perfectly okay. I am allowed to be weird. Giving yourself that permission to be weird. And weird is just a label. I have been called weird so much that it honestly has lost all meaning. Um, it really has. It really has lost all meaning for me because I have no idea what weird is anymore because I have no context of what weird looks like. Now, does that mean that I do things that are really inappropriate? Absolutely not. And while that can change from culture to culture, um, pretty much almost every culture has like the same type of weird. Mostly don't don't do things to kids. That's like the number one thing. After that, don't murder people. You can do it when you can either be one or the other. But essentially, don't do things to kids, don't murder people, and treat others the way you want to be treated. Those are the main rules that pretty much every culture and religion goes by. And every society goes by. Unfortunately, a lot of that doesn't happen. So, I didn't want to be called weird, so I try not to call other people weird. Um, I also try to, whenever I hear somebody calling themselves stupid, I beg them not to. Like, they can do it, it's their own choice. But I beg them not to because, that's a really, really big thing. Um, Because if you do that enough to yourself, unless you have like, and I was talking about this earlier with some people who are under my wing, um, that I with some people that I'm responsible for a that I'm working on a thing with, and I heard one of them calling themselves stupid. I'm like, please don't do that. Please do not degrade yourself like that, because that's, unless you have a really really strong sense of self, that over time consistently saying stuff like that really really can mess with you. And as proof of this, so the first part of my video, see how like this is my first eye right here. And then as we got closer to things that really, really bother me, the eyes have gotten smaller. You know, because small is considered safe when you tight in. But whenever you're relaxed, you get really big, really wide. That is one way to view it, is phrase it as I did a stupid thing. That is fine because, you know, you recognize that you made a mistake. But the mistake itself was a foolish thing to do. But you're not calling yourself, you're not degrading yourself. 100%. Like you can do dumb, stupid things. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like everyone does something foolish, something silly. That does not mean that they are stupid or whatever. And uh, one thing that researchers are learning is that IQ scores really, until kids go to school and interact with people, they actually have a, oh my gosh, they stop being mean. There we go. um, Researchers have discovered that honestly, until kids go to school, their chances at having a high IQ is so much higher than after school and or after going to school. They studied several subjects over the years, and they found that depending on home environment and school environment, it changes a lot. And it degrades almost like 50%, if not more. So IQ points don't really mean much. There was um, there was a girl that I went to school with. Absolutely, uh, I considered her one of my best friends. Um, and there was a IQ game back in the day. IQ games were just some of the biggest ones. Brain Age was a big one, but I didn't have a DS and I was broke AF. And so I got a knockoff of a Brain Age type S game. And that was really interesting because I have always been terrible at geometry because it requires having a 3D understanding of an object. There was an aspect of the IQ game where you were given a flat image of a square and a 3D image of a square, and you had to determine which one of the flat parts became the square, which one of the flat select it was multiple choice, so you had different flat sections and you had to determine which one of those was the square. I 100% did absolutely terrible at this. I was always terrible at it. Well, one day she's watching me do it because I wanted to get some practice in, and she does it. She has absolutely no issues doing it. I'm like, dude, that's so amazing. And she's like, why don't you get it? It's like, because I don't understand it. Nah, she didn't tease me about it or anything. And I think that was really one of the first times that she realized that, hey, there could be more to my life than just this. Unfortunately, I don't know. I haven't seen her since high school. There were some poor choices made in high school. She was not a teen pregnancy. Um, but there were some poor choices in friendship in high school. Um, and that came to fruition in our senior year. Um, so that was awesome. And yeah, later I found out that she did something, and I was just like, well, I'm kind of glad that they're no longer my friend because that's one of those poor life choices. And things could change. Everyone talks about like the elevator pitch and how people don't change. Well, people can change if they choose to. Everyone knows the stories of how typically it's the nerdy geeky guy. It's always viewed as the nerdy geeky guy, or the girl with the really like fugly looking hair, teeth, buckeye teeth, all that. And then hey, they get dressed up and they actually put some effort into their appearance, and suddenly they're absolutely gorgeous. Um so it's one of those things. Um I had a point to this, but I don't remember what it was now. I've lost the thread. I am so sorry. Um I am so sorry. This happens sometimes. I'm sure I'll remember it when I am no longer on the video chat or on doing the live stream. But anyways, my point is that do what makes you happy so long as it hurts no one else. So long as you don't cause any harm, do what makes you happy. Don't torture people. That's not cool. Um don't spread malicious rumors. That's not cool. But if you want to go out and plant wildflowers in the medians on highways, go do it. It's not going to harm anyone. It's better for the environment. I don't recommend planting trees in the middle of them. Um, if you do want to do like guerrilla gardening, highly, highly recommend looking up sites or looking up your native species to your area and see trees are really kind of be careful with those because right now Oklahoma is having an issue with drought possibilities because it's overrun with trees. Why is that a bad thing? Um, it's because trees weren't really a thing in Oklahoma until settlers came. Buffalo would trample them, and then the wildfires would destroy some of them, and then yeah. So if you go and do stuff like that, do your research. If you want to go and do graffiti, go do it. Like, nothing's stopping you, just don't spread hate. Like, probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen is out west. If you ever get the chance to go to like Texas or New Mexico or Arizona, inside of the cities, what they do with the overpasses, the bridges that go over the highways, is they'll actually put art on the concrete Like they make murals and things like that. Um, it's really, really cool. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And you know what? Seeing concrete is just really, really ugly unless it's like colored concrete and does work, it does art. Like, who really wants to go and look at a um piece of concrete? Like, I am very happy for you that you can go and pour a smooth slab. Like 100% can absolutely respect being able to go and get a nice smooth pour of concrete. 100%. Cuz let me tell you, that does take some skill. But after a while, it's super bored. If you're a muralist, by all means, go and see if the locals you can do it legally, or yeah, you can do it legally, or you can do it like Banksy. If y'all don't know who Banksy is, dude, that man is, or I don't know if it's a man or not because they've never been officially identified. But Banksy is absolutely a madman. Mad lad. There we go. Let's go and call him Mad Lad. They do they're guerrilla graffiti artist, and they do some amazing work. Like some really amazing work, and a lot of it is political. Probably one of their coolest pieces was a girl with balloon, and it was in this big frame and whatever. And it was one of the few pieces that Banksy has ever um done sold to an auction, or sold to an actual person. And the person who bought the piece was told that they were never supposed to go and sell it at auction, and at an art auction house. Well, that person broke their promise. I don't know if Banksy was actually in on it, but they broke their promise, and they did go to sell it. And the person who bought it, who spent a lot of money on it, did not get the chance to enjoy it for very long, because as soon as the gavel hit saying sold, the art piece was shredded. Not completely, it malfunctioned, but it got shredded. And so yeah, absolute mad lad. If I could be anywhere near as good as Banksy, as much of a mad person as Banksy, I would absolutely love it. Um, but no, they are awesome. They are absolute mad lad. Um, anyways, like I don't know if they care how people respond to their work or not. Um, but that is one of those things. She's all puffy now that I took her cable away. Wait, did I say puffy? Pouty. I meant pouty. I'm sorry. It's been a week. I know. It's only Tuesday. What kind of week has it been? It's been a week. Um, but that's as far as we're gonna go with it. Cause you know what? I'm sure that y'all have had a week too. Whenever you see this, it could be that you see this on a Friday, and it might be a week for you. So, enjoy it. Go and do something fun. If you want to make weird, crazy art, go and do it. Oh man. So, back in the day, I don't know how many of y'all have seen or ever played, I think it was Tony Hawk. But back in the day, there was this awesome logo that had an eyeball, and it was speared through Ah. Oh my god, go away. It's not work. Oh, okay, that's because I'm pressing the wrong button. Oops. It was speared through. Um, uh, with its like little tail wrapped around the spear. It was such a weird thing to see as a kid because whenever you opened up the game or whenever you loaded the game on the console, it would just have this eyeball bouncing around, looking around, and then suddenly it would get speared through with the just this like random spear, and then wrap the its ocular cord around the spear. It was such a weird thing, but I absolutely loved it, and I drew it a lot as a kid. It's still one of my most favorite pieces of work because it's such an iconic look to it. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to play Tony Hawk a whole lot until college. Even then, I was just like, Tony Hawk's not really something I can do. It's one of those games that requires a lot of split-second timing, and I have no talent in that. Um, but it's just one of those things. Da 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 da. I'm sorry about the lag. If there's a lot of lag, I'm really, really sorry about it because I've been having WeberNet issues all night, um, which is which contributes to my technical difficulties, which I talked about earlier. So, you know what else calls us small eyes? Getting close. If you want to draw a big work, one, you need a big sheet of paper, and two, you need a standing easel. Or something that will, or you need an easel that has a good height to it as well, or a surface that has a good height to it, like a counter, like a kitchen counter, or a bathroom counter if you have a giant enough space. Um, and literally like go at arm's length out from the paper and just draw whatever it is that you see from there, or draw whatever it is that you're wanting to draw, because you literally will not be able to go and do um small drawings. Literally cannot. Which makes it really, really hard to do small drawings. Now, that's not to say that you can't. I have seen people who are able to do that, and it's just incredible how dedicated they are to making sure that their drawings are super tiny. But, you know, like I said, it's a reflection of your mental state. Art is definitely like 100% a reflection of your mental state. Mine, as you may or may not be able to tell, is currently in total chaos. Chaos! Just with a bunch of eyes. um, so, it's one of those things. And it happens because, sometimes you just need that chaos. Because how else are you going to do, like, some crazy stuff out there? I really doubt that Lisa Frank, if any of y'all remember Lisa Frank, oh my gosh, that was a trip. It was Lisa Frank and oh gosh, what was that dude's name? He did dolphins. Um 90s dolphin artist. Not in Missouri. Um there we go. Oh god. Wow. Anyways, uh oh, come on, dude. Artist. There you go. Uh Christian Lasan. Um he looked like he looked like a romance novel cover. Uh he's an artist who in the 90s looked like he was a romance novel male lead. Like he would be on the cover, no doubt. Honestly, I thought that he wasn't the artist. Um this is a very silly picture of him. Like super silly. All right, I will show you this silliness. Okay, so the reason why I say it's super silly is because this is a framed painting. You do not paint on a framed painting, especially if you're doing like this kind of work. This is a framed painting that is matted and has been sealed up, and I guarantee you this is like one of his original paintings or one of the numbered print because it's got like oh god, what is it called? The art whatever. The thing that verifies that this is an official piece of artwork. And you've got like the hook stuff here. You don't have that on a painting when you're painting it. But yeah, so this is the dude that in the 90s looked like he should have been a on the romance cover of books. But actually, you know what? I'll bring it back. But like this is the work that he painted. Like this weird stuff that was absolutely gorgeous. Um so yeah. Absolutely mad lad. But honestly, I don't really believe that some of these people could have I've lost my thread again. I hate this. My brain is, oh, chaos, that's what it was. These people did not have like normal, well, I can't say normal because I'm absolutely weird. Um but, you know, he had no, this is not what I'm wanting. There we go. Like they could either have been on something or they could have just like had issues or something, and let's face it, bright colors is really really nice. Um but you know, they absolutely had something going on. Anyways, I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, I do. Anyways, but going back to what this started at. Oh my. We only have 5 minutes left. So, all right, going back, let's do a recap. The recap is that when you're young, you're going to get told you're going to hear a lot of people say bad things, about what you do. Um, if you're an artist, or if you're a writer, or if you like to do video games or whatever. There's always going to be somebody who criticizes you. There always will be. The thing about it is that one, it is best if you live a good life. And your definition of good is going to be vastly different from their definition of good. Most people, at this point, I think most people is being financially secured is a good life, which I 100% agree with. Um, but your what you what your definition of a good life is going to be very different from theirs. And there will always be somebody saying that, especially as a woman on this aspect. Sorry, dudes, getting into more personal stuff, but living where I live, I luckily I have lots of good friends, and I don't really associate with people who would otherwise look down on me because I'm not married. I don't have kids. I don't want kids. I have nibblings. I have lots of nibblings, and I'm perfectly happy with that because I love them. I think they're all adorable in their own way. And I think that so long as they can have a happy life, I will be absolutely ecstatic for them. 100%. And that as far as familial stuff goes, that is my happy life. If I can adopt, if I can ever be financially stable enough and provide a kid with enough of a financially stable life, be financially stable for a kid, I will totally adopt a kid. But I am not at that point, and it really makes me upset. um, but I would love to adopt a kid. Unfortunately, I cannot, because I would not be a good financial provider for them. I don't even know if I would be a good parent for them. Have no idea. Um, but I know that I would want to give them the best step foot forward that I could. And that's all you can really do is give yourself your best life doing what you love. And what you love is going to be something really, really different from everyone else. And unfortunately, in high school, you kind of get or going to school kind of gives you a handicap on that. It doesn't really matter what kind of school you go to. It can be homeschool, it can be public school, it can be private school, it can be any type of school. You're going to end up with a handicap because you will always be interacting with people. Now, with good education and good parenting, that handicap can be less. But do what you love so long as it doesn't harm anyone. And don't let others determine who you are. Is the best I can say. And that's pretty much what this piece is about, or what this is about, is overcoming overcoming someone else's prejudice, someone else's definition of weird. It's silly, it's foolish, but it's fine because this is for me and not for them. And that's what you have to realize. Is this for me or is this for them? If they're paying you, yeah, sure, it can be all for them. But if they're not paying for it, It's not for them. It's for you. All right, folks. I hope that this wasn't too boring. I hope that you enjoyed tonight's session. And I look forward to seeing you again on Thursday or the next one. And I will endeavor to make sure that I have video stuff ready. Woo! I really hope that this lag is not that bad. Cause man, YouTube live stream on my end is just like, yeah, bro, we're gonna show the um male romance lead, or the romance male lead right now, and I'm just like, oh god, please don't be that far behind, because we're at an hour, and that was like at an hour and a half. I guess I'll go and check it out. Anyways, I hope that you all are having a good one. No, okay, good. It's not. It's just being silly. Yay! All right. You guys have a good night, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Good luck, stay safe, and enjoy yourselves. Bye.